I first fell in love with Quince for their cashmere, and now I'm just as hooked on their home collection. From super soft sheets and spa-worthy towels to handcrafted furniture and stylish decor, every piece from Quince makes my home feel warmer and more elevated for fall. And speaking of the fall, I've got pumpkins galore, and I have also outfitted my bed in such a cozy way using the oversized lumbar set of 2 pillows from Quince. They're 12 by 48, which we absolutely love. A long lumbar across your bed is the perfect way to accent it, and it's 100% cotton velvet with a lovely knife finish, and it comes in 6 colors. Quince is everything you need to bring that warm seasonal upgrade to your home. I'm so impressed with the finishes from Quince. The linens feel luxe, the silk curtains look high-end, and the materials are built to last. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, Quince cuts out the middleman to deliver premium quality at half the cost of other high-end brands. Elevate your space this fall with beautiful home essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT.
A girl can dream, can't she? Hi, I'm Anita Joyce here with Kelly Wilkness, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. And today, Kelly, we are recording, wait for it, drum roll please, our 700th episode. Can you believe it?
Honestly, I can't. If I didn't see that on our schedule, I would not imagine it was 700 because you know what? It's so true. Time flies when you're having fun. And this has been an amazing ride. I've had a blast doing this with you. Not that we're stopping. We just want to take a little pause and say, yay, 700. I think when we had 600, I calculated the amount of hours of talking that we've done.
Lot.
So now it's just that plus this extra 100.
It's a lot of talking.
And we are so overjoyed that we have created this community of people that take the time to listen to us. Life is busy. Your time is important. It's the most important commodity anybody has is their time, and that you give time to us to share in listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. And sometimes people have consults or just email us with some details on what they think, or take the time to give a review, or take the time to just send us pictures of your house, which we absolutely love. We are so touched in so many ways by our community. So thank you very much, because we just couldn't talk to ourselves for 700 plus episodes. There had to be somebody out there, and we really appreciate that it's you.
That's right. And that's true. I think now a lot about things that I want to spend my time on, and I am just not interested in wasting my time. So we do appreciate you listening to us. And so today we are talking about our dream house. And I thought that this would be a fun idea. You suggested it, Kelly. I thought, what a great idea. And this is going to be something that it's just going to come naturally. We're always thinking about what we want and our preferences. And when I sat down to work on this, I thought, this is going to be a lot harder to do than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, to narrow it down?
Well, right, because I like so many different things. When the sky's the limit and you can have anything, it's hard to narrow it down. In going back and reviewing a bunch of photos that I had saved, I also was aware of the fact that what I'm looking for in a house has changed a little bit.
I found that too. That's interesting. Yes, because certainly certain things popped to mind right away when we decided we were going to do an episode about our dream houses and things that we would love to have, and just sort of a fun episode for our 700th. And everybody has ideas and thoughts on what they'd like to do. And maybe they're pie in the sky. Certainly a few of mine are, or some might be attainable. But I did poke back into a file that I have about house ideas, and I looked at some of my older Pinterest boards. And some of the things I didn't get to do, I'm kind of glad I didn't do. And now I have other things I'd like to do.
Isn't that true?
Okay, so let's get started. What are you dreaming about, Anita?
Well, I actually have a dream house that I found that I had looked at years ago in Houston that I am going to include a link to. But this is more of I would say more of what I was looking for a few years ago, because now I'm looking for a little more color and a little more pattern. But I'm going to share this because I would be very happy to have this house. So, I mean, obviously this is blue sky, so the sky's the limit, but I'm going to include a link to it and you'll see it. It is beautiful. This is a house that you would think you would see in the countryside of France. It's got stone walls, blue shutters. It's just beautiful. And that's the exterior. I'll talk about the inside later as we go on.
Well, it's funny because as we've told everyone before, we don't really prep together for the episode. So I approached this dream house episode as what I would want in this house because honestly, I absolutely love my house. So I didn't approach it as a different house. I approached it what I would want to add to this house.
Okay. Well, it's interesting you say that because I also had the same feeling like I love where this house is. I love this house. And yes, you could retrofit a lot of these things into this house. I think some of the cost would be exorbitant. But again, this is a dream situation, so we can do whatever we want in this episode.
On that note, I would like to be oceanfront. I would like my house to be on the Pacific Ocean.
So you're moving your house a tad.
Or moving the ocean, something like that. But, if we're talking complete dream, I would love to be able to look out the windows and see water. Maybe it doesn't even have to be the giant Pacific Ocean, but see some water, hear the lapping waves. That is so calming to me. So obviously that's not something I could do. That is an absolute fantasy of mine to have a house on the water. But as I said, I don't want to leave this house. So I'm kicking off with the craziest thought. That doesn't mean I'm going to make a coastal bathroom or anything, but maybe I want to live a little bit more like I'm near
just put those
water.
Seashells in your bathroom.
All done.
And then a sign that says beach this way.
Oh, I like that. Right. And they're like, where? I'm like, this way.
Just
and if you need to hear the sound, you just pick up one of those shells from your bathroom and you listen. It's fine.
Yes, no, that is true. And that's what I was thinking about too. Do I include where it is or what's around it? And I actually focused on the house itself and what's
well, I love that.
Something I found over time is that I really like a 10-foot ceiling. I think that's a great ceiling height. I think taller, maybe for a gathering room, but for most rooms, I think anything bigger than that is a little too much. And an 8-foot can feel a little claustrophobic. So, I mean, that's certainly my ideal ceiling height for most rooms. Another thing I would add for the entire house would be wood windows, which I had in my old house, but this house does not have the wood windows. I would really like to go back to that. But that's kind of one of those things. You talk to a realtor, you're not going to get your money back on that if you change out those windows. That's a very expensive change.
Talk to us a little bit more why the wood window would be so important to you in your dream house.
Well, it just looks more elegant to me. I don't really like the vinyl windows.
More authentic?
Yeah, I mean, it looks more old school. They just have a beauty about them. I think they're much prettier.
Yeah, so if you had those blue painted shutters that look like they're in France, and then you have some aluminum clad windows, you're saying not a good pairing. Is that what I'm getting?
Oh, yes.
In the dream house?
That
okay.
kind of gives it away.
The wood windows are a little bit more maintenance and all of that. But this is your dream house, so let's not talk about maintenance.
That's right.
I would love a large foyer. A large foyer where you walk in. Maybe your door is extra wide with some side lights, some side window panels. And then you're opening it up to a very nice sized foyer where I could have a large pedestal table.
Oh, yes.
Big vase on it with some florals that I could create myself every week, but somehow these flowers would be delivered magically, or maybe even better yet, they would magically grow in my garden.
Sounds wonderful. Well, your gardener takes care of them, right?
Well, in my fantasy, I would still be the gardener because I love that, but I really wouldn't have to do much other than walk around with a basket and clipping these flowers that miraculously grow on their own.
Yes, wearing your flowing cotton dress or your linen dress, yes.
You got it. You got it. And then I would bring them all in and I would clip them and I would put them in this giant vase and then I would place it on my giant pedestal table in my really, really big foyer. And there would be a lot of natural light. And then there would be some lovely rooms off to either side that you could kind of see. But I'm just talking about the foyer right now. So that's really never going to happen in this house. But I have a plan for possibly enclosing my area where I have my raised beds and making that into a dining area. Yeah, this is not going to be something that happens tomorrow. It's a dream that could happen. But then I would turn my dining room into more of a pass-through room, which it really is now, but now there's dining chairs and everything, and you kind of go around them. I would take the leaves out of the table and I would make it a large pedestal table. And then it would just be this beautiful room that you kind of pass through to get to all the other rooms. But that's in the future. But for the dream, it would just be where the foyer should be, right adjacent to the front door. And it would be big and beautiful. And I could talk to you for 45 minutes or more about what other things would be in there because I've given a lot of thought to that room. But that's not really going to happen in that exact fashion in this house.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
What's your next one?
We looked at a house in Houston that had a spiral staircase with the most beautiful iron railing on the stairs, and it looked like a European hotel. In fact, this house had so many elements that they had brought in from Europe. The whole house was just stunning. I could not get Kevin on board for this house, but I was in love with it, and it needed some work, but I had a vision for it. But I would love to have that staircase in my dream house. It was absolutely beautiful.
Hey y'all, I am Kim Gravel. I am a mom. I'm an entrepreneur, and I am the host of The Kim Gravel Show. If you feel discouraged, hopeless, tune in every week to The Kim Gravel Show. You'll get a little nugget of encouragement, a little nugget of hope, and a whole lot of support. This show is for all of us to come together, connect, feel encouraged and inspired, and laugh a little along the way. Just search for The Kim Gravel Show anywhere you get your podcast.
I want a greenhouse, but not just a greenhouse sort of with aluminum frame and some, I don't know, plastic or plexiglass. I want one of those British greenhouses that if any of you thumb through English gardening magazines or even American gardening magazines, you'll often see them. They're have a foundation, often it's stone, and they just have these beautiful peaks, and there's the glass, and you're growing beautiful things in there. I don't have the room for that in my yard at all. I try to sort of make myself happy with my little raised beds area, but I would love to have a greenhouse and just be able to putter around in there. And they're just so beautiful.
Yeah, I'm just adding to my list right now. Yeah, that sounds good. I love that idea. Oh, so something that I would want in my dining room. Well, for one thing, I would actually have a dining room. This house does not really have a dedicated dining room, but I want a dining room with walls. And the reason I need walls is because I want them covered with plate racks.
You're really dreaming big. I would like some walls.
I want some walls, baby. And, I have seen these houses with these plate racks all over the dining room walls. Not too many times, but I have seen more than one. And the plates are just on every single wall in the room. And, I've got enough to fill it up already. So, that would be my dream dining room.
That's so perfect for you. So you would have every wall covered with plate racks, like painted the wall color? How would you do it?
Oh, well, just kind of the rails, you can probably see the wall behind it, but
right. But would they be wooden rails or would they be?
Oh, yes, wood.
And then would you change your collection or would you have the same ones all the time?
Oh, no, because, we're talking a lot of dishes. I wouldn't have any. They would all be displayed, so there's nothing to change out. It would just stay the same all the time. But lots of dusting. But in my dream house, I'm not doing the dusting, of course. The same person doing your gardening for you, doing the tough gardening work, he's dusting my dining room too.
So handy to have that person around. I would like a bigger primary bathroom. Probably not going to happen in this house. We converted this little annex room off our bedroom into the bathroom, and it's perfect. I got everything in there that I want. Beautiful. I love it. But it would be great if it was just a little bigger and I could maybe put a chair in there. I could put something else in there. You just do feel like you're kind of in and out. You know, it's kind of like a galley style, like a galley style kitchen. It's kind of a galley style bathroom, but it works great. And we do have a little separate WC area that I've curtained off a little bit. So you do feel a little separation, but it would be so nice if it was a little bit bigger. But again, I'm not moving house to get a bigger primary bathroom, but it is something that I dream about.
And another thing, I was talking about the ceiling height. I love 8-foot doors also. And this house does have 8-foot doors, but it does make a big difference. Once you're used to looking at those doors, the other ones feel a little short.
So, Anita, with the 8-foot door, since you were talking about a 10-foot ceiling, would it look weird in your mind to have a door that was shorter than 8 foot?
If you have 10-foot ceilings, yes, that's going to look odd. I think it needs to be appropriate. So if you have an 8-foot ceiling, then you're going to have to get the standard height door, obviously, because the door would go all the way up to the ceiling. And yeah, the same with the taller the ceiling is, the taller you want those doors to be.
I'm getting out of the dream state. I'm getting into too much practicality.
Yeah.
I've got to stop that. Okay, let's pull it back into dreamland. I want a banquette in my kitchen. I love the chair in my kitchen, and people sit on that, and it's great. The dogs love it, but I would always have wanted a banquette area. So if anybody out there also has these banquette dreams, if you have a space, you might be able to squeeze in a banquette, either custom made or Ballard makes great ones that you can just slide right in. They've got the cushions and the whole thing. I think that's a great use of a little nook area in a kitchen. And you could even use that as your primary dining area. Like Anita's saying she doesn't have a dining room. And I think a banquette is a really nice way to go. And if I do get to make this dining area by taking over the raised bed area, which of course will limit my fantasy gardener, they will have to plant the peonies, which you also can't grow here, but that's in my dreams, someplace else. If I enclose that, it's not going to be that wide of a room. I'm going to do some sort of banquette or at least one long bench with a back and cushioning. So that's in the dreams too, because that'll save some floor space rather than having chairs on either side.
I love a banquette. I think that's a great idea. And speaking of built-ins, I want a study that has the shelves all the way up to the ceiling, a whole wall of shelves. And I did have that in the old house.
I was going to say, you had that. You've lived that dream.
I designed every square foot of that house and selected every single thing that was in it. So I did get to design that bookcase, and it was beautiful. Yeah, this house is a Texas farmhouse. There are no built-ins here. But yes, I do miss that.
That's an attainable dream, no? Couldn't you do that?
Well, I mean, we can. I mean, I'm just finding the right spot to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of a different layout. So, so we may just stick with what we have for this house.
So what's your next dream?
I want a beautiful stone, oversized fireplace. I want one inside. I want one outside. I think that is so beautiful. And it's wood burning. That's what I would love. I think those are beautiful. A little more work, but I think they are very elegant. And again, in my dream house, someone else is cleaning out the ash from the fireplace. I would love reclaimed oak floors too. Again, I had them in my other house. This house has pine floors, which are nice, but not as pretty as those oak floors. And boy, these scratch. But those oak floors, man, those were indestructible.
I have a dream that I think I might be able to execute, but we'll see. I love an outdoor shower. We have never had one. My parents had one in a house they sold years ago, and I used to use it all the time. And that was in the East Coast, so you weren't using it all year round. Here we could really use it all year round. I would have to pick a good spot because we're not exactly off to ourselves in a meadow or in the woods. So I would have to pick a spot where I could enclose it well. But I would love to have an outdoor shower, and it not only for people, but for the dogs too. I think it would be terrific. Like, I like the idea of the sky over your head.
Well, I think, yes, I think you could definitely do that. I think that would be fun. It's not high on my list.
It doesn't have to be a shared dream.
It's not a shared dream. You're right. I would love some rough-hewn wood beams in the ceiling. I think that would be wonderful. I also want a French gas stove, a Le Corneau or Le Conche. I think that would round out my kitchen.
I think it would. Ooh la la. Mm-hmm. I forgot about those. Well, I have that incredible vintage stove, so I really have no business asking for another stove, but those are so beautiful.
Yes, yours is really pretty. Maybe some blue cabinetry to go with my French stove. I still want an oversized closet like the one I used to have that had all the built-ins.
Yeah.
And the beautiful table in the center. So it was my recording studio, a hangout room, and my closet. So I do miss that. And I miss my butler's pantry that I used to have. So I would definitely like to have that again. And I want a scullery or a dirty kitchen. And that's a place where I can hide my sous vide, my Ninja Creamy, my hot water dispenser for tea, my little ice nugget maker. I think it'd be nice to have that separate little kitchen area for all those little appliances that you don't want sitting out in your main kitchen. So why not? For blue skying, I've got a second kitchen. So there you have it.
Love it. Okay, that was super fun. What are we defining today?
We are going to talk about the history of air conditioning. I thought this was very interesting. In 1902, an engineer named Willis Carrier, recognize the name Carrier?
I do.
Yes, he was working at Buffalo, New York's Sackett Wilhelms Publishing Company, and he was asked to fix a problem that they had of too much humidity in the plant where the paper was being printed. So it was kind of messing up the ink and the paper. I guess the paper was getting too moisture, and so the printing process was not working well. So he invented something called the apparatus for treating air. And his system consisted of steam coils with an industrial fan. So the cold water in the coils produced excess condensation, which would then be blown out of the room to lower the humidity. And it actually also cooled the air. So that solved the printing problem, but it accidentally created one of the most, in my opinion, glorious inventions ever, air conditioning.
So you're drawn into those motels that say, air conditioning as a feature.
Well, if they don't have it, I'm not staying. I'll say it that way.
Well, where you live, you really need air conditioning, even more so than me.
So, what is your crush?
My crush is a podcast that I'm absolutely obsessed with. I love it. It's called Strangers on a Bench. This fella, Tom, goes around to various parks and places in the UK and saddles up to a stranger and says, "Oh, I'm creating a podcast. Would you mind chatting with me for 10 or 15 minutes? Would you like to have a go?" And then they say, "Okay, that's weird, but yeah." And he talks to people, and you cannot even imagine the amount of information that this man gets. And it's fascinating. He doesn't know what the person's going to say. He starts off every interview with, "Do you favor a particular day of the week?" It's a, kind of a lob ball start. They start talking, then he asks why. He's a fantastic interviewer. He listens to what the person says and then asks the next question. Of course, he can't be prepared because he has no idea what these people are going to say. And I'll tell you, listening to this, I have laughed, I have cried, I have developed more empathy and feelings about people I don't know. I look at strangers that I see in passing in a different way. Everybody has a story, and you don't know what everyone is carrying around with them, whether good or bad. And it just has made me, I think, a more considerate person. I think it's made me a slightly better person for listening to this podcast. So I highly recommend it to everyone. The variety of people, all different walks of life, all different ages, sharing in their life experience. It's just really eye-opening and heart-opening. So I suggest to everyone, we will link it in the show notes.
Tell me the name of it again.
Strangers on a Bench.
Strangers on a Bench. Okay, I'm going to go check it out today. So my crush, I mentioned this earlier in talk about why I needed that scullery. It is my Ninja Slushy. Well, I mentioned the Ninja Creamy, which is the ice cream maker.
I was going to stop you and ask, but then you went on to the ice maker, and I thought, okay, what is a Ninja Creamy? I'm so glad you're going to say.
The Ninja Creamy, I think I might have already done that as a crush. That one is actually an ice cream maker.
I think you did, yes.
Yeah, so we've already covered that. Actually, today I'm going to cover the Ninja Slushy.
Okay.
Which I know. So I thought, I don't need both. But then I found out from Evie that I did need both. So this one, you mix up whatever it is you want. I've had all these leftover peaches from our summer. So I've been making a lot of homemade peach ice cream. So you just kind of mix all your ingredients together and you pour it in, and it makes it into a frozen drink. And it just dispenses just like you might imagine a slushy machine would dispense it. And you don't actually add any ice. It just freezes the ingredients. So I've made peach ice cream. I've made cherry limeade slushies.
Wow.
And the family's favorite is the Frappuccino, which is delicious. And
you're like a high-end 7-Eleven.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Did you hear that 7-Elevens are now going to be selling fresh food because they want to mimic the Japanese style 7-Eleven-ish store?
Oh, no. I have not been in a 7-Eleven.
Well, you might be going 11. Back for some heirloom tomatoes. Maybe you could sell them some of your special slushy recipes that are organic.
Oh my goodness. But the big news here is Evie is getting a Trader Joe's.
Oh, well, Evie is getting married. Evie is getting a pony. Evie is getting a Trader Joe's.
Sorry, my headset fell off.
Well, because it's so exciting.
I am excited. Yes. So it's coming to Cypress, Texas. She's very excited.
Well, good to know. Well, I'm so excited that this is our 700th episode, and I'm so excited about our dreams and the dreams of everyone who's listening.
We'd love to hear your dreams.
We would love to hear your dreams.
Leave us a message on our website or leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear.
Or leave us a review, a really nice one. And you could add what your dream is in it, and we'd love to hear it. Then everybody would know. So thanks for hanging out with us today. It was a lot of fun. And remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time, fabulous, fun, wow, even better than I had hoped or expected. These are just a few of the words used to describe a DTT design consult. We've been doing consults for many years, and boy, are we good at it. And people are loving the results of the advice and suggestions that we make for them. It's so easy to schedule a consult with us. Just simply go to our website, decoratingtipsandtricks.com, and click consult. There you'll be led through the very simple process. And sooner than later, you, I, and Anita will be discussing your home in detail. So sign up for a consult today. Let us help you design and decorate the home that you want and deserve. Looking forward to talking to you soon.